And we are live here at the Intercontinental Hotel in beautiful Malta. I took the liberty of walking around this morning. This place is awesome. Reminds me of Monte Carlo. Not quite as nice, but it's still nice. I have with me here my new best friend. It's Mru Patel. He is the president of Xcoin Futures, and he's done a bunch of other stuff as well. I'll let him kind of tell you about that. But we've been talking off camera here about the space and about how things are moving forward. So tell me a little bit, Mru, about what you're doing, or at least some of the stuff, what you're doing in the space, and what brought you here to Malta.
Well, Malta, I've always had a passion for this country or this island, and with the organizers for AIBC, Sigma, all good buddies of mine, it's become like a family. Came here last year as well. So I thought, how do I give back again? So I said, okay, under the guise of my Xcoin Futures, I'm a president of Xcoin Futures, come back and help. And I'm also a speaker and on certain panels to give back to the community. I'm also the CEO and founder of eWealthTech, which is, a banking solution with a smart wallet, which we're trying to integrate with the Xcoin Futures digital options platform as well. So, going to talk about where world is coming to, where it's going to converge from. My history is very, very much from the .com, Java, internet days. So I've been there, done it, and now playing with the fuel, with the crypto and the blockchain to really set it alive. True disruptor. Well,
true disruptor. It is really cool, right? I mean, I feel like the .com time was so fun and everything was happening and everything else. And we really have created it. We have this point right now in the blockchain space where it's all just about to boil over. And I know we're under 10,000, okay, guys, and we went up to 20 and everything else. But we'll get back up there. But the technology coming out of the space is really about to explode. And it is really interesting. Now, speaking of interesting, the Xcoin Futures is what kind of has piqued my interest. So tell me a little bit about the futures part of it and how that's all working.
So basically, it's like the Chicago Exchange. People bet on even pork bellies and various things in the futures if you watch Trading Places, right? So it's about predicting where the market's going to go. And you mentioned 10,000 and 20,000. So because this whole market is so volatile, for want of better words, people, based on certain tools and certain pattern analysis, go out and say, you know what, the way things are going, up to 30 seconds, 1 minute, 24 hours, you can say, we think the price of, and we only do 3 or 4 coins, 3 or 4 currencies, Ethereum, Bitcoin, but we peg it with our own stablecoin. We are the world's first use case study with the USDE coin, which is our own stablecoin, and we peg it one-on-one against USDT, which currently is trading a lot more than Bitcoin. Right. And the reason being is, whether we like it or not, 70% of the world's trades happen in dollars, right, and USDT is the digital bit, and it's got to happen. Yeah. So until the future, I don't see today that we will replace the dollar, but I 100% see that within the next 5 years, there will be some serious digital stable coins. Yeah. Purely because the world cannot afford to do trades that takes 2-3 days and banks sitting on your money, let's be honest, making money on your money, as well as it's not instant, it's not beneficial to people in their pockets immediately. People are impatient.
And everything's now. You get your phone, you can get the information now. You can, you want fast food. It's all now. So that is pretty interesting. And there's also some, if you're an American, there are some tax benefits or developing benefits anyway.
No tax advice here.
No tax advice or financial advice, okay? Past does not equal future, all that good stuff.
Beep, beep.
But the USDT being a coin, and you can go in and out of the currency, and Nick Spanos
Absolutely. I interviewed him last week, a week before. No, last week in Dubai.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was supposed to be there too. So, but Nick, I interviewed Nick in Toronto, and that was one of the things we were talking about with the tax legislation that he's putting forward.
Absolutely.
If you stay in the cryptocurrency, you're not having that exit tax. But if you're going fiat to crypto, it's totally different. So actually, when I trade, normally I do USDT to Bitcoin or whatever.
That's exactly what I do. And even talking to Nick last week, we were saying we've created this global blockchain organization that we're both part of. Yeah. So one of the things which is a passion hobby horse for me in the global blockchain organization is we really need a global legislative, government, banking, educational vehicle to set standards that is, I won't say disruptive, but at least people are playing, a clean hand in transactions globally, be it a financial one, oil, gas, whatever it is. So that infrastructure will help towards this 5-year vision. And I'm very, very confident that if governments don't get in, they better get out, because governments will be replaced. You already got the small islands and the small places, Estonias, Lithuanias, all these people trying to have virtual currencies, virtual citizenships and virtual everything. Soon, governments will be left without citizens.
Well, it's certainly true. And that's what has started happening, I feel like, in the U.S. is they're waking up and they're like, oh, wow. Because it's not just a monetary system, really. There's all types of consensus and everything. That
Absolutely.
The potential of the blockchain is all of that, self-governance.
And I don't know why they've got anal or paranoid about this.
I have no idea.
I really don't know. Well, it's to
power.
support
It's power.
No, it's supposed to protect the greenback and all the jobs and pensions and
the
cartels and the wars.
How do you finance the wars if you don't print the money?
And manufacture the goods to supply to... Anyway, that's another subject.
Right.
But in that protection mode, they cannot switch off the momentum of blockchain.
No.
And they say, too much corruption, too much this. But, it's not even 0.5% of money laundering that they talk about. The dollar has changed. Oh, my God.
So much.
So it's just propaganda, conspiracy, and all that. Until the world sees that, when a transaction happens on crypto, you can see the whole bloody life of it.
I know.
With a dollar bill.
Good or bad. And actually, the president of Liberland, speaking of different countries and everything else, of course, they've really embraced blockchain. But that was one of the things he was talking about, and that's why I am really happy to be part of the GBO and the Global Blockchain Organization and what we're going to do. But we could go into a police state using Bitcoin. We that is, a possible turn that this will take, and we need to all make sure that that doesn't happen. So
no, and Vit's a very good friend of mine. I met him 2 years ago, and we had this share of information 2 years ago. We were on stage. I was doing your MC bit on that day. I was doing all the MC and coordination.
I'm sure you were doing a great job. Listen to this guy. Mru Patel.
So Vit and me, we were talking about it, and I said, so for 15 years, I ran the public sector business for Sun Microsystems and Siemens in UK. Led the e-government movement 25 years ago, things like that.
Yeah.
So being a visionary and a disruptor, even in those days, if you think about it, only 20 years on, it's beginning to happen.
Right.
What Vit is trying to do is accelerate that 20 years to less than 5 years.
Right.
I'm all in.
Me too. Yeah, I don't know. I have my citizenship and I got my star and everything else. But since I met him in Dubai a year ago, I've been all in now. Absolutely. So what does it look like for you? I know that you're here. You're going to be on stage quite a bit. We launched the GBO, of course. Where do you go from here? What are the next 20, 30 days? And I would also like you to come to Miami. I don't know if I talked to you about that yet.
I'd love to do that. Just
January.
let me know when.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem. Come and speak or whatever.
Yes, of course.
Mediate. But the main thing I see the world going is exchanges, wealth management coming like this. And what we are developing is an all-in-one smart card like this with biometrics, which is even more secure than Pentagon and police and things like that, with 4 gig on storage. So there is no numbers, no CVVs, no mag stripes, the most secure thing. And you onboard all your cards. You onboard all your cards, you onboard all your documents, your voting, your e-gates, your patient record, driving license, your air miles, visas, I mean, all on this in a secure manner through your up to 40 minutia points.
That's really cool. And what is the, and that is the eWealth tag.
Yeah, so that's the all-in-one smart card. Yeah.
So I know we're running out of time. What is your social media websites? How do people get a hold of you?
Google me, Mru Patel. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm everywhere.
He's on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. Mru Patel. Thanks so much for coming on.
Great to see you, buddy.
I appreciate it.
There will be more of this. There will be more.
All right.